So hi everyone, I'm going to go through the list of new launches that will be coming out in 2026, the ones that I will buy and the ones that I will not. Want to find out more? You've got to watch this. This is Joshua Tan and welcome back to my video. So today right here are the new launch projects coming up for 2026. The full list here. Okay, I'll leave you to see it on the screen. Basically, to keep this video more short and sweet, I'll be focusing more on the first half 2026 as we are in the current period. So what I'll put my money in, I will consider Narra Residence, I'll consider Rivelle, Tampines EC, I'll consider Pinery Residences, Tengah Garden Avenue, Bayshore Road and also Lentor Gardens. Now the reason I choose these projects later on, I will show you why. Not that the other projects are not good, some of them probably it's true that I may not touch at all. Like the smaller projects, is if you're my clients, you're aware that I'm not a fan of small projects. Again, not that small projects cannot make you money, but many of them lack the liquidity, the transaction volume that can help you to have that price change over a period of time. Okay, suffice to say, first up, Narra Residences. So Narra Residences is a 99-year project, about 540 units expected. The nearest MRT right will be at Hillview MRT. Now, it's a bit more low density population here, around 6,900 as compared to later like Tampines with about 79,000 population. So this area here, by the way, dairy farm Narra Residences is situated in, is actually part of Bukit Panjang. And also the land size for this project is actually 235,000 square feet. If you times the plot ratio of 2.1, right, your gross floor area GFA is about 494,000 square feet. So if you 494,000 square feet, your aggregation 1 unit 1,000, you would have about 494 units. So total you will expect 540 because there would well be some smaller bidders coming up. With this, right, the land price is actually 504 million. You take that and you divide by the GFA, actually you'll get 1020 PSF PPR per square foot per plot ratio. This allows us to actually work out what is the break-even price. Okay, the break-even price is actually around 1844 PSF. Now, if we take a look at the surrounding of Narra Residences, actually we got Dairy Farm Residences, and we also got Botany at Dairy Farm that as either recently TOP 2023, well not too recent but kind of, or is going to expect to TOP in 2027, Botany. Their PSF prices right have gone up to 1950 to $2165 PSF already. So with the launch price for Narra Residences, I'll expect it to fall around 2000 to 2001 starting from. The reason is because today OCR I think it's very tough to find anything below 2000 PSF price anymore. And if we were to take a look at the profit margin, right, if we price it at about 20 to 30% developer profit margin, it will be about 2200 PSF from 20% profit margin and up to close to 2,400 PSF if we price it at 30% profit margin. This means that developer has to be a bit more sensitive in the starting price because surrounding has translated up to 2.1, but they also, as a private company, I believe, want to kickstart on the prices to move first. So they may start low somewhere 2000 to 2001 starting from, especially during launch day. So this is my take for the rough starting price. For the predicted take-up rate, so this area would give you a good low entry price suitable for people who want to enter if you are a HDB upgrader, for example, and then you want somewhere close to Bukit Panjang area and you still want to stay somewhere close to Hillview, have a condo amenities, go into a private, step foot your investment journey, yeah, this area can be suitable for you. It is more towards the direction of a wealth preservation, stable progression, rather than trying to go for a more high risk, high reward, fast in, fast out approach of getting a quick $1 million profit. This area will unlikely able to help you do that. And if you look around at the surrounding, if you will just take a look at the price charts, the growth rates of the condo around, you will know what I mean. Okay, so next, right, in view of time, I'll move on to Rivelle EC. Now, Rivelle EC is situated at Tampines West MRT. Tampines West MRT on the southeast side. So Rivelle EC is actually diagonally southeast of Pinery Residences, which is the new launch next that I'm going to talk about. Rivelle EC, needless to say, EC is sold at the more subsidized 10 cost. But just to give you a preview of the specs, right, it's a 99-year, total of about 572 units, sits in the Tampines West region. Once again, the population population is a bit more dense over here, 79,000, and the land size for Rivelle EC is around 242,000 square feet. You factor in the GFA with a plot ratio of 2.5, the GFA works out to be around 605,000 square feet. With the land price being sold at after tabulating $768 PSF PPR, and after you add your miscellaneous, construction, marketing, legal, etc., I call them miscellaneous costs, the build and miscellaneous costs, you amount to a break-even cost of around 1380 PSF PPR. Judging from Aura of Tampines, which is the EC that was one of the most recently launched one at Tampines North, the PSF price has already transacted up to, this is next to Parktown by the way, up to $1966 PSF. Okay, so with this I would foresee Rivelle EC from a starting price of roughly 1,007 to 1,008. It is not going to be as cheap as what you think of the last time ECs are gonna be, 1,007, 1,008, and this will fall around the 20 to 30% profit margin, which I feel is going to be the launch price around there. In terms of take-up rate, Aura Tampines was actually sold very crazily. For take-up rate for Rivelle, I would think that it would go about a good 85 to 88% sold on launch day. Okay, this being said, because Aura of Tampines was actually fully sold. Okay, so ECs have a very good attractive market because of the fact that their low entry price is hard to lose money. Okay, this is my take for Rivelle EC. Next, for Pinery Residence. So Pinery Residence is a commercial residential. So there's a Pinery mall that's going to be built underneath. It's an integrated, directly linked to this Tampines West MRT. This one has St. Hilda's within 1 km, just like Rivelle EC. And that furthermore makes Rivelle EC very attractive by the way. But it has 1 km to St. Hilda's. Alright, so in Tampines West, you actually have quite a lot of schools. In terms of schools wise, you not only have St. Hilda's Primary, you also have Junyuan Primary, you also have Tampines Primary, and Tampines Sec as well. St. Hilda's Primary, you have St. Hilda's Sec. Okay, so there's a lot of options for schools, from primary school, secondary school, and even you'll see down towards the west of Tampines West MRT on the left side, Temasek Poly. Then you have SIT. So here is somewhere whereby it's very ideal for families own stayer. I can foresee that people who are buying here, they will want to buy and stay for the long haul. They will also be able to experience more stability coming here to stay when their children is from primary school all the way until university, then they move out. Or even if they don't move out, they just move around the area. But the idea is that they can stay here for the long haul. So this is for Pinery Residence. Pinery Residence, once again, is also a 99-year. Total number of units we're expecting is 585 units. The land size is about 252,000 square feet, which is a bit bigger than Rivelle EC, but very comparable. And the gross floor area is total amounting, with a plot ratio of 2.6, gross floor area is amounting to about 657,000 square feet. So as you can see, the specs for Rivelle and Pinery is very close. Rivelle EC, if you can buy and you want to throw your money there, if you ask me, I just close both eyes, I can throw my money there and expect to make some pretty good profits. By the way, this video is nothing of the developer's pricing, nothing representative of any property agencies and so on. It's purely my own judgment, and before you make any decision, please rely on your own financial decision, your own discretion and analysis before you take any action. Okay, so for here, back to the Pinery Residence, is that 668,000 square feet. Total unit size about 585 as mentioned. So okay, land cost is 668 million. The GFA total is 657,000. So this works out to a land price of 1016 PSF PPR. If you factor in the miscellaneous cost, build cost, etc., you have a break even of about 1823. Okay. At 1823, 10% profit margin is around $2,000 PSF. 20% profit margin is close to 2,002, around $2,187 PSF. 30% profit margin is about $2,369 PSF. How to ascertain what's the price we are going to be selling at? So we'll take a look at Parktown Residences. Okay, so Parktown Residences, sale at launch day, they sold about 87 units of Parktown, of the 1193 Parktown Residences last year, and at an average price of about $2,360 PSF per square foot. So this means to say that if you look at Pinery, 30% profit margin is around 2,369. I can expect easily for them to start prices from 2,3 plus onward, 2,4 and up. If you ask me, is it overpriced? Is it still safe to buy at 30% profit margin? I will then look back at my recent video. If you have seen my analysis on the lessons learned for the launches for Penreef, Sky at Holland, they have actually well reached around 50% in terms of of profit margin based on its highest PSF transacted. So here 30% is still fairly palatable. So 23 to 24,000 PSF is the price that I'm looking at that will launch for Pinery. Okay, this being said, how much would it be for the take-up rate? I think the take-up rate can easily, with the lower, cheaper borrowing cost today, I'll project a good 85 to 90%. Am I being a bit too optimistic? Maybe, but I do think it's possible because of the cheaper borrowing cost. And Pinery, Sky of Holland, Faber Residences, those launches have already sold well easily over 80-90%. So for this Pinery, right, it's expected to be another hit for 2026, and I'll see 85 to 90% sale at launch day. Although I myself feel that maybe a bit too optimistic, but cheaper borrowing costs, this is what the prices should be going at. Okay, for this one, sale at launch day, how much I think? I think it will be selling around 80% at launch day. Okay, hopefully I'm not too optimistic. Let me know what you think the price is going to be on launch day as well. Put it down in the comments below. Okay, so next up, Tengah Garden Avenue. Okay, so by the way, for Pinery residents, right, not only do we have a lot of schools that are suitable, but if you notice on the Tampines West and up north area, there are a lot of newer HDBs. And new HDBs are good because they have the capital to buy the property when you want to exit in the future. Many a time you might hear people saying, oh, you should buy in an area where there's HDB because HDB means got HDB upgrader. But I will add one step further, right, to do a bit of correction to say you must buy within selected HDB clusters, because HDBs that are often too aged, too old, frankly speaking, the owners there may not have sufficient capital to upgrade to private. So you need to choose your target audience. And of course, this being said, it doesn't mean that people who buy a condo only stay at Tampines. They can come from anywhere else. But being in the Tampines area means that these families who already have their life established in the area, visit tuition center, childcare, school and all that, they do not have to think about changing their lifestyle, right, just to suit the property move. The property move can seamlessly help them keep the somewhat same lifestyle. As parents, you know what I mean. So, okay, so next up, we're going to be looking at is Tengah Garden Residences. So, Tengah Garden Residence, right, why I'll put my money here, because the price is going to be cheap, right? So, Tengah is at Hongkar MRT. Let's see. Hongkar MRT, okay, still under construction, JS4. So if you see here, there's a lot of HDBs that are already up. So Tengah is an area that I will akin it to something like Punggol. Punggol last time very ulu. Maybe you go Sengkang, you feel that wow, after Sengkang, Punggol somehow so in. But today Punggol prices, look at the property. Would you have thought that, for those of you, especially if you are staying in Punggol or District 19 or near around that area, wouldn't you have think that if you think that you enter early, last time should have bought in because Punggol developed already now, right? So you just look at the price jump difference. Let me just give you an example. If I look at, let's say, a condo of Park Centros. Okay, Park Centros over last 5 years. Let's say if I were to look at transactions for someone who entered purchase price at 941 square feet, their holding period is 4880. 4880 divided by 365, how many years? 13 years. So if they bought 941, they hold for 13 years, they sell, their profit how much? 1 million. Today, where to get 941? If they entered last time at 899, make 800k profit. If you bought last time at 916, you sell at 1006, you make about 800. If you bought 892, you sell at 1666 PSF, you make 1 million. So the thing about this is property, you want to enter before the transformation phase starts. So for here, Hongkar is a bit similar to Punggol there. If you look at the master plan here, how many? A lot of residential already. Okay, as you go up north, right, one stop up to Tengah Station, JS3, you'll notice that there's an empty plot here. So if we look at the master plan, it is actually a commercial residential already, which means that you can expect another kind of a Woodley residence, or another kind of Watertown, or another kind of Parktown residence, another kind of Pinery residence over here. So the idea for this area, right, Tengah, is really to enter early, because you can see the government is already developing this area. Okay, and with all the HDB upgraders, you are being the very early mover to move into Tengah as a private owner. You got a lot of HDB upgraders want to buy into your condo. Okay, you also got healthcare around. This will be also a new educational plot. This will support the livability conditions over here. Of course, now you go down there, it's empty. But once again, like Punggol, right, you will see it to be basically developed in due time. Okay, so this is the reason why I will buy into Tengah Garden Avenue, because it's very early mover. But this project, we also have to understand, it's a residential with commercial at first story. So level 1, you expect to have commercial. Okay, it's a 9-year project. I will consider this very close to a mega project already, because it's 860 units. So nearest MRT Hongkar, in fact, it is very much likely connected to Hongkar, right next to it only. And if you are sick and tired of staying at, let's say, Punggol, too dense, right? And you can imagine the same thing, because now Tengah, not much people. But then Tengah start to flood with people, then it's time for you to leave. So if you want to enter now, buy early, then you leave later when it's more dense, that can be one of a kind of a strategy also lah. Just that while you are staying in it, right, the amenities may not be so stacked up at the moment. You are staying not too far from the next CBD. Just like if you are staying in Bishan, you Bredo, Toa Payoh, Novena, Newton, and you're in town already. So something like that, not too bad, right? Okay. In terms of land size, here it's about 274,000 square feet. Plot ratio 3, so 860 units, quite a lot. You can expect good transaction volumes here. Total, right, with GFA, total GFA is around 822,000 square feet. Because the land purchase price is about 675 million, you work out the land price is actually only 821 PSF PPR. With break-even cost, adding all the miscellaneous build and everything, you would be looking at 1575 PSF. Now, adding developer margin, 10% $1732 PSF, 20% $1890 PSF, 30% $2047 PSF. If developer were to get the land so cheap and it's Tengah, they can possibly sell it. I mean, below 2,000 is a bit tough, so I would think that they will start from around 2,000, or maybe they just want to hit a bit of a news headline, they may start at 1990 or high 1,900 PSF just to kickstart things going. So yeah, this is an area that is cheap, low entry price. Low entry price, sometimes it's very hard to go wrong with the right dynamics, having MRT and just right beside MRT, and the fact that you already know that it's going to be developed in the future. I think it's not too much of a difficult decision to make. If you don't mind the location, this is one potential place you can put your money at. Now next, the last two is Bayshore Road and Lentor Gardens. So Bayshore Road again is 99-year project. Total estimated 515 units around the Bayshore area, which is part of Bedok. And it would likely command a bit of price premium, not just because of the land purchase cost, but also because it's nearer towards East Coast, and nearer to East Coast has commands a little bit of a price premium. So with this, total population there is still not too dense. Population there is around 7,400. The land size is only around 112,000, which is a bit on the smaller side, but the plot ratio is higher, 4.2. Then, so this works out to have a GFA of about 474,000 square feet. With 474,000 square feet, right, and a purchase price of 658 million, thereabout, the land price, right, works out to be 1388 PSF PPR. Now, this is a bit higher than the Chuan Grove plots that were sold recently. We're adding on the miscellaneous, legal, construction, and so on, right? Break-even cost adds up to around $2343 PSF PPR, which is a bit on the higher side because don't forget it's still an OCR. It's not say an RCR project yet. However, like I mentioned, it tends to be commanding a bit of a price premium because of its proximity to East Coast, given Chuan Park's performance and given Chuan Grove's launch. And this one is launching earlier than Chuan Grove, so I'll think that this one may be launched around 26 to 27. At 10% profit margin, because break-even cost is $2343 PSF PPR, at 10% profit margin, it is 2577 PSF. At 20% profit margin, 2811 PSF, and 30% profit margin, $3,000 PSF. $3,000 for this area, I think is a bit on the higher side if you compare today's market and what you can buy. That being said, I may not be surprised that people want to stay near Bayshore at this area, because on the left side, don't forget of the map, on the left side, you have Costa del Sol, you have the Bayshore and Bayshore Park. On the right side, empty land, so there's still nothing much there. So on the supply of new condos here is not much. And if on the right side is empty land, then the next question you want to ask ourselves, if we buy here, what is the future potential growth? Right? So if we take a look at the master plan, Bayshore MRT, actually on the right side is already all demarcated for mostly residential. And on the right some more, you see Bedok South MRT, there's a commercial residential similar to Tengah Station, similar to what you have at Tampines West, commercial residential. So you can see government wants to develop this area like how already. Because you know it's like that, right? You are seriously the first plot at the bottom left, at the corner left side here, that's going to be entering into this area. Somewhere in the mid area between Bedok South and Bayshore MRT, you will also see HDB already being built under construction right now. And this means that, in my opinion, government is actually creating a certain kind of a dynamics, right, for HDB to support the condo prices in the future. Because when these HDB people, the MOP, guess what? They want to upgrade. If they want to stay near still around the Bayshore area, C Club area, they like this area, right? They want to upgrade to Bayshore, but they can't possibly choose Bayshore Park, Costa del Sol or the Bayshore if they find it already a bit too old. So the next newer options are actually your option, the Bayshore Road new launch here, if let's say they want to upgrade too. And if you notice here, the HDB to Bayshore, right? HDB to Bayshore. It's a very short distance only, like literally you can walk. HDB to the next Bedok South on the right side, also another short distance. So this HDB got 2 MRT sites. In fact, I think you can even walk from Bayshore MRT to Bedok South. I also don't know why it appears to be so near. Or maybe it's just the exit at the exit point. But it is really a bit too near if you ask me. So you buy here, HDB can go left and can go right. That means Bedok South, the commercial residential here, right, is actually very near to where you are living here. Here may not have any shopping mall, but you take one stop Bayshore, Doom to Bedok South, and you can have your commercial, likely a shopping mall down there for you to enjoy already. So this location, right, when you enter, further residential blocks should pull up your prices of this first land plot of the Bayshore coming up. The subsequent residential projects. Okay, if without master plan, we don't know, right? There's even 2 educational plots, but if without master plan, we don't know what's going to be built here. But because we have a master plan now already, and it makes things very transparent that if you want to buy here, you don't really have to second guess what's going to be built here next time. You already know what's going to be built here next time. I mean, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around just these few plots, once they're taken up, the facing East Coast one, no more already, right? No more supply. On the right side also not here already. Then you're moving all the way towards where? Towards the airport already. So this is a very appealing area if you ask me. Okay, but this being said, you are staying very close to future transformation, the potential of the area. Why I will not go to this area? If I'm not someone who likes to stay in the east, or I'm not keen on paying higher OCR prices, then I won't buy here. Now, last but not least, we have Lentor Gardens. Now, Lentor was one area that I had quite a number of clients, I would say, buy into the area. In fact, 3 bought Lentor Hills and 1 bought Lentor Central. So what happened is a bit story about Lentor. Lentor started that time, it didn't have much information, a lot of guess making lah. The market was concerned about the supply issue of whether is it too much supply or not. Condos launching over here. So the first one came out Lentor Modern. Then second was Lentor Hill. Right. Then after Lentor Hill, I think we had Hillock Green. Yeah. Let me know if I got the order wrongly, but I'm just going through memory. After Lentor Modern, we had Lentor Hill, then Hillock Green, and then Lentoria, and then Lentor Mansion. Then after that, we got Lentor Central, right? So one after the other. If you ask me, the main triggering point for Lentor, especially 2-bedders selling out so fast, right, was actually Lentor Mansion. Lentor Mansion sold out a large number of units, including all its 2-bedders, and that led to overflowing demand for 2-bedders around the area. And that's why after that, soon after you see Lentor Hill, right, there's no more 2-bedder. If you ask people, is there any supply left for 2-bedders, it's hard to find. Seriously, people don't ask much about supply now because it already has a proven track record of units moving already. Okay, so for Lentor Garden, if you were to enter, it's really because of its low entry price. So in short, right, Lentor Garden is a 99-year project, about 500 units are expected in the Lentor area. Nearest MRT Lentor, and it's in actually Ang Mo Kio, not Yishun. Okay, because I know a lot of people think that, oh, Lentor is Yishun, very ulu, but no, actually it's in Ang Mo Kio. Ending subzone Tagore, okay, near Tagore Lane. The total land size is around 222,000 square feet. Plot ratio is 2.1, bringing the total GFA up to around 466,000 square feet. Now, the land price was actually bought at around 429.2 million, which works out to have a $920 PSF PPR for its land price. This being said, you add up the miscellaneous cost, build cost, etc., you have a break-even of around 1709. And at 1709, if you add about 20 to 30% profit margin, the project should sell around $2,000 to $2,200 PSF. Recently, if we look, one of the most recent launch is Springleaf Residence, whereby Goku Land sold 92% of the units at $2175 PSF. So with this, right, how do we price here? Then we look at Lentor Central, achieving 93% sales at average of $2,200 PSF. So Lentor is a bit more closer to the Mofio, more closer to Central. Springleaf is a bit more up north. That being said, this Lentor Gardens is not as close to Lentor MRT as Lentor Central is, and it's also not as close to the MRT as Springleaf Residence is. So how I price it? 2,200 Lentor Central to Lentor MRT, 2,100 plus for $2,175 PSF for Springleaf residents to Springleaf MRT. Okay, but for this one, because it's not so near MRT, I will expect a bit of inconvenience cost, so to speak. I could walk either over the hill and far away, or over the hill and into the Lentor Modern Shopping Mall, which can be a reasonable walk. Depends long or short distance, depends how long your legs are. Okay, so how I price Lentor Gardens is that I'll go somewhere around $2,100 average price PSF at launch day, which means that starting price would be expected to be around 2,000 something, 20 something. So if let's say there are 10% profit margin here, right, with a land cost of $920 PSF PPR, break even at $1,709 PSF PPR, 10% profit margin is $1,879 PSF, 20% profit margin is at $2,050 PSF. I would expect them to sell around close to 20% profit margin, starting from 2050, 2080, and then slowly going upward. This being said, because Lentor area does not have much supply of units right now left, right, I will foresee Lentor Garden to still experience a decent take-up rate. How many percent? I would say maybe I'll say about, because it's further from MRT, maybe it's not so popular. I'll say about 60 to 63, 65%. That's my take. Once again, let me know what your thoughts are on Lentor Gardens and how many percentage will it be sold at launch day in the market. Alright, so this concludes all the projects that I'll be looking at to put my money in for 2026 launches for the first half. I hope it's been helpful to you. Don't forget to click like and subscribe so that I can produce more of such content for you and break down more analysis and my thoughts to you. Once again, this is Joshua Tan, and I'll see you around.